Good morning, traders. So let's start off with the Aussie this morning. So you can see this main level that we had, that we've been watching most of last week, is where we turned, and this was also the 50%, a little bit more than 50% Fibonacci of the downward move. You can see we just got through 50%, almost got through to 61.8, so I've got that upside down. It is Monday, so there we go. You can see we almost got to 61.8. So a very good area, big level, and the buyers stepped in there and drove this up very quickly on Friday morning. Now, this is an indication of things to come as far as I'm concerned. So what I would be doing right now is looking for my long-term entries, and my long-term entries is targeting 54,760, which is the previous highs. Okay, so that's kind of my long-term swing trades. And reason being is that we've rallied strong and hard. We have had a good retracement, a nice deep retracement, and now what I'm expecting is another green candle this week, and that confirms this level, and then we're going to move to the upside. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen from a swing trade perspective. So I'll be looking to get in with 2 lots of trade, and I'll explain that later on when we get down to the 1 hour. Let's just make sure that there's nothing. There are no real levels where we are now in the weekly. So we kind of through, I suppose the only one that we have to worry ourselves about is this tail and the bottom of this. You can see there's quite a bit of interaction with this level here. So that's the only level we need to worry about on the weekly at the moment. So let's just get down to the lower time frame so we can start seeing what we need to do today. So, okay, there's a couple of things that we need to happen here, and the first one is obviously we've had a close above the 200-day EMA, which is positive. So we've had a nice solid close above there. We close on our high. That's a very strong bull bar. That bulls are clearly in control at the moment. What I would like to see is I'd like to see us back above the alligator here, and I'd like to see a cross. Okay, so we'll get there. We'll get down to the lower time frames to see what we have there, but that's what I'm looking for on the daily, which would then just allow me to, it'll confirm my suspicions. Okay, and before we get too carried away, let's just get a measured move in here. I just want to get a level in there, right there. Okay, so just delete that. So we had this strong move up. Okay, we have a pullback, and now what we're expecting is a continuation of this move up, and the target is this area here. So we have a 3,700 point target here. Okay, so there is enough confirmation here at this stage for me to be extremely bullish and to look for areas to start building a position for this 3,700 points. Okay, so if this move happens through the month, you'll probably have more than 3,700 points on the table, because obviously you're going to have up and downs, and if you're trading on the 1 hour, you will be able to get in, get out, or even build your position, and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so first things first, we obviously need to get through this level. Now, there are a couple of other diagonal lines. Now, I'm not too much of a fan of these diagonal lines, so that's the first one. Okay. So there's one there. We then have, so that one was, let's move my mouse down. So you can see that was the original one. We broke through. This was the retest. Okay, as I spoke about last week, and the retest is now successful. So we also can put this line in like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to ignore that one. We've got that level there, and we then have that one which is broken. Okay, so I can't see us coming back to test this break at this stage, not with that bar, so we're going to delete that. So this is kind of the picture that we have. Now you also, if I zoom out, you'll see that this is also looking like a flat bottom triangle. So anything's possible. Okay, so there is a possibility that we come back down. But the fact that we have created, for all intents and purposes, a higher high. Okay, now the next step is to create we've created a higher low. The next step is to create a higher high to break this high. So that's the next thing we need to look for. If we break this, then this target is on. Okay, it's as simple as that. Let's get down to 4 hour. Okie dokie. Now what we want to do is we want to just keep our levels pretty close. Okay, so this is the area that I would like to see us stay above today, and any bounce off here would be a great entry for a long. Okay, you can see how we had the diversions here, and the diversion is played out, and this channel is broken, and we've broken to the upside. So we are above the 200 EMA on the 4 hour, and we're above the alligator. And you can see how the alligator is standing up straight, which is a very bullish signal. I just want to see if we have any, so we do have this gap up here, and I think it's best to mark that and just put it in blue. It's always good to mark the daily gaps, just so you know that they're there. And any other level here, there's no real, so there's this level here, and then we've got the daily gap. There's no other big levels that I need to worry about. So it's this one, and then we've got the daily gap, and 4 hours. So that looks like a pretty good area. Let's just see how far. Okay, 600 points. So we're often moving 400 odd points a day on Aussie, so that's well within reach today. But yeah, let's just get down to the 1 hour. Okay, so what we are looking for is this area here to hold. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for. And just want to see, okay, 10 cent is up 1.8%. So futures market, we are 136. So we are basically 170, 180 points above Friday's close at this stage. So Asia is up at the moment, quite nicely, and it's based on the data that came out from the US. So I'd like us to see somewhere in this area, some kind of consolidation or anything else. But I think that 150 at this stage, we are closer to this area here. That's on the futures market. So it's hard to call it now, but ideally, I'd like to see us down the bottom here on the 200 EMA for a long, or alternatively at gap close for a long. So let's just get to the 15. So the gap close was 950. So we're 200 points above the gap close, the open at the moment. So sorry, the close. Yeah, so anything in this area would be first prize. I'd like to see us close this gap, but that may not happen. Okay, you can see here we've had 1, 2 opening gaps already that are still open to the downside. Okay, and this is a sign of strength. So these are breakaway gaps, and you know when the Aussie gets going, you can have many of these breakaway gaps in a row. So ideally, I'd like to see it closed, and I'd like to be in this area. Other than that, we will get in at whatever price action says and build our position. So I said I was going to explain building the position to you. So essentially, once you've got confirmation that the direction has changed, okay, and I think let's just do this on a 4-hour. So we have confirmation here that the direction has changed. Okay, so ideally, and you'll notice that this is also a potential, well, probably it is a V reversal. You can see how violent it's been to the upside. You see a reversal like that is not as violent, but yet a V reversal typically is very violent. Here's another one. Okay, so we're expecting more upside. So the trick is to find the areas where you're going to get some resistance, because there will be resistance. There'll be a couple of red candles, and then look at the most logical place for price to come back to, and then get in on the trade. What I normally do is I'll get in with, let's just say, with 3 contracts, okay? And one contract is to be left and let it run for the big target, which is up here, okay? And I'll take profit on the other 2. So that way I'm taking profit all the way up in case it comes down, but then I'm also building a position to the upside. Okay, then every pullback, so I'm just going to use something in history here. So let's say in this scenario here, you're in, every pullback is the opportunity to buy in. Okay, you'll see the pullback happen to the alligator. So if you're in with 3, you take profit with 2 at the top, wait for the pullback, you're in with another 3, you've still got 1 in, run to the top, take profit on 2, you've now got 2 that are running, wait for the pullback, in with another 2, another 3, and you drive them up to the top. So that way what you're doing is you're building a position with, you're taking profit, so you're making money on the way up, and you're also building a position. Okay, so if it does swing around on you, then you are well protected. You've made money, and the ones that you're building, you can just hop out of them. Okay, now what are you looking for? You're looking for price to stay above or below the alligator here. Okay, I don't like doing this on downward moves, because, as I said, to me, the shorts are typically scalps. So you're never really sure of how far it's going to go, because there's so many levels down here. It could have hooked on any one of them and bounced and taken you out. But when you're building, when it does find a bottom and start moving to the top, it's always a good opportunity to start building positions to the top. Okay, by doing that, this, what's 3,700, 3,600 point target, you can stagger in 7, 8, 10, 20 different contracts all the way up to the target at different levels. So your 3,600 points becomes 7,000, 8,000 points if you were calculating that out on one contract. Okay, and at the same time you've been taking profit on the way up as well. So it can be very lucrative, and the trick to it is just to stay unemotional and stick to the plan. Okay, so which is pretty much what I'm going to be doing. So I'll talk about it through the next series of videos over the next week, and make sure that we've always got one contract in, or one lot in, that's basically for my long term, and then I'm still adding to it. Now, the broker that I'm currently using doesn't allow me to counter trade. So in other words, if there is a an opportunity to go short, I'm going to have to lose those opportunities. So I'll have to wait for the pullback. Once the pullback is finished, then get back in on the long. Okay, so if your broker does allow you to trade both directions, you can trade both directions as well. Okay, so that's it. So for me, I'm just looking for some kind of consolidation in this area, and then I'm looking to get in on this long. Watch out for this diagonal trend line here, round about this daily gap, because there definitely will be some profit taking here, which will drive price back down and be another entry long. So that's kind of my play on the Aussie today. It's long. It's probably going to be long all week, and I'm just looking for an entry wherever I can get it. So if it's here, it'll be first prize. If I have to get in at the open without a gap close, that's also fine. Okay, and the objective will be to build a position to the top side. Okay, that's it. I hope you have a great day and stay profitable, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys later.